Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, November 25th. Welcome into the show. This is the San Francisco 49ers Report. My name is Chase Sr., and that is the mood for the faithful here today after the Niners beat the Panthers 20-9 on Monday Night Football. And you already know we have to start here. Let's go. It's a Victory Tuesday here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. If you're pumped up about that dub and the Niners being 8-4, then I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. I want at least 1,000 likes on today's show. And let's recap everything from last night after taking a look at the tape, rewatching that game. And a big takeaway that I want to start off with, what a job by Robert Saleh's defense last night. You look at what the Panthers did offensively against this Niners team, and obviously the Panthers aren't a team that is ready to be a true contender in the NFL. They might be in the race in the NFC South, but that's one of the NFL's worst divisions. And frankly, I don't think that Bryce Young is an NFL quarterback. He's too small, doesn't have a strong enough arm. But with how shorthanded this Niners defense is, it's incredible that they're able to dominate and control a game in the manner that they did, with a lot of players who are on this Niners roster who other casual fans across the NFL wouldn't be able to identify. I mean, the Panthers put up 230 yards of total offense, 161 yards through the air. This Niners rushing defense, really good last week against Arizona, excellent again on Monday night, holding Carolina to just 69 yards on the ground. I was a little bit confused why Dave Canales didn't just force feed Rico Dowdle. He's probably the best player on that Panthers offense. And in the games that he has been spectacular in, the Panthers have been able to win. So I thought Dave Canales went a little bit past happy, but I like this Niners approach. I like the game plan. I thought some of the blitzes were very timely. And to hold Carolina to 69 yards on the ground, you'll take that. Niners able to force 2 turnovers, and the time of possession there, San Francisco's offense really able to dominate time of possession. And what Robert Saleh has had to deal with this year, we have seen elite coaching on display because he's had this defense playing well, and they've been the reason why they've won a lot of ball games despite a bunch of injuries, including injuries to star players like Nick Bosa and Fred Warner. This is a defense that has a lot of youth. They have one of the worst pass rushes in the NFL, and so all things considered, another fine performance. And I did think some of the blitzes that Robert Saleh was able to devise and draw up were very timely, and they were effective. The Niners blitzed Bryce Young at a 29.4% rate, and when the Niners blitzed Bryce Young, he was 3 of 8 for just 14 yards and 2 picks on those blitzes. The Panthers minus 15.1 expected points added against the blitz, 4th fewest by any team in a game this season. Takeaway number 2, Kyle Shanahan has to be the coach of the year. I know that Mike Vrabel is the popular pick, and I know with what he's done with New England, the Patriots are having a special year. They might win the AFC East, and Mike Vrabel has turned around the fortunes of that organization. But Mike Vrabel hasn't had to deal with the adversity and the injuries that Kyle Shanahan has had to deal with. And Shanahan took this job in 2017 to be the head coach of the Niners. I think this might be his finest coaching performance to date. All of the injuries, all of the things that have gone against the Niners, and really their injuries on offense, their injuries on defense. And so for this team to be 8-4 and in the thick of the NFC playoff race here on this Tuesday, November 12th, going into this upcoming Sunday's game in Week 13, it really is an incredible coaching job. This NFC is wide open. Wouldn't surprise me if the Niners win a playoff game or 2. They'll have to play their best in that playoff game. But at 8-4, I don't care that they've had one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. They've had some quality wins this season. They beat Seattle. They beat the Rams. They beat an above 500 Panthers team. They've been able to win some of these close games. Kyle Shanahan has been coaching his ass off this season, and it's very impressive what he's been able to do. With Brock Purdy, there's no doubt about it. Brock Purdy was really bad last night, and you think about his performance on Monday Night Football in front of the nation, it was a really confusing and weird performance. And so that brings me to this question, right? that we have to talk about here because this is going to continue to be a topic of conversation for the rest of the year because Mac Jones played so well and because he's the backup to Purdy. What was the deal with Brock Purdy on Monday Night Football? Was it rust? Well, against Arizona last week, I didn't think he looked rusty. Was it the toe? I thought he moved around well against Carolina and against Arizona. And if it was the toe, was that why he couldn't put any velocity behind the ball? Because he was floating throws, which allowed them to be picked off by that Carolina defense. If it's not the toe, because Brock Purdy said that his lack of velocity isn't because of the turf toe, that's a problem. If his arm strength has suddenly gotten worse, that is an issue because the Niners just signed him to that massive contract extension. One of the issues with Purdy, and we saw this at Iowa State, he is very turnover prone. And despite him not being big or having a strong arm, he plays like he is big, like he has a bazooka. He has the mentality of a gunslinger. The issue with that is he's not Brett Favre. He's not Josh Allen. And so he needs to play point guard, distribute the ball, which is a big reason why Mac Jones played so well in his 8 starts. He needs to be safer with the football. And this year, he has 7 interceptions. Going back to last season, interceptions have been a problem. He has to clean up his game. And against Carolina, if you play a better team, you could have been down by at least 10 points at halftime. Against a better team, you would probably lose that game. 23 of 32, 193 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 picks, a quarterback rating of 58.5. And a big concern looking ahead to Sunday's game, the Niners play the Cleveland Browns. Myles Garrett has 18 sacks. If I'm Cleveland, I am putting Myles Garrett over Colton McKivitz all day long to see if Colton McKivitz can block Garrett. Chances are he can't, because anytime Colton McKivitz, who's an okay right tackle, goes up against an elite player, he's been dominated. Jared Verse, Josh Sweat, Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson. So if I'm Cleveland, I am putting Myles Garrett over Colton McKivitz, and I'm saying, I dare you to stop Myles Garrett. What the Niners are probably going to do, regardless of which side Garrett lines up on, they're going to chip him with George Kittle. They're going to put extra help on that side because they need to. This Browns defense is elite. If Brock Purdy plays against the Browns like he did against Carolina, the Niners will lose. And Kyle Shanahan has historically struggled against Jim Schwartz. He is, I think, 1-9 win-loss record against Jim Schwartz as a coordinator and as a head coach, and his offenses are averaging like 15 points per game. And so Purdy he's got to clean it up, and he has to get it corrected very quickly, because if he plays against the Browns like he did against Carolina, the Niners will suffer a loss against a team that they otherwise should beat. A quick reminder before we continue to push forward on today's show, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm bringing the heat daily, bringing you superb content every single day year-round. As you can see, 47 subscribers away from 181,000. Join the movement, hit that sub button, and lock us in today. Our sponsor for today's San Francisco 49ers report, our friends at Ridge Wallet. My old wallet used to look like that one that we just showed you. An old, thick, crusty brick. Was your back hurting because you were sitting in an odd way, or you had to carry that huge, chunky wallet in your back pocket? That's what was happening to me. And so I made the switch to Ridge Wallet, and it's been a game changer. I love their unique, slim, modern design. You can put up to 12 cards in the new Ridge Wallet 2.0, and this might be the last wallet that you ever have to get because it is built to last and built with premium materials. Now, Ridge has been perfecting the Ridge 2.0 for 12 years. It's 10% lighter. Every gram matters in this 2.0. They found the perfect balance, and they made it more modular with improved cash straps, money clips, and the AirTag attachments. Losing your wallet is the worst. You get that awful feeling, but with the Ridge 2.0, with that AirTag attachment, you'll know exactly where it is if you do lose it. Improved surface design with tonal logos and matching plated cash straps. As you saw, there is a Niners Ridge wallet as well. over 50 plus colors and styles to choose from. On top of that, Niners one, over 100,000 five-star reviews. That is proof that Ridge is a gift that people love to receive. Now, Ridge isn't just about wallets. They create premium everyday carry essentials like key cases, suitcases, and their game-changing power banks, all built with the same sleek, durable design. You'll find the perfect gift for every wish list. So listen up. For a limited time, Ridge is having their huge Black Friday sale. Head to ridge.com. That's ridge.com/chat. Get up to 47% off your order using that code chat. This is by far the biggest discount they've given all year. Ridge.com/chat for up to 47% off your order. Biggest sale of the year. After you make your purchase, be sure to let them know that we sent you. Let's get to this, man. Christian McCaffrey is a stud. What we're witnessing from number 23, it's really special. And what a trade this has ended up being for the San Francisco 49ers. He's helped to elevate this offense. He's already turned into one of the best players in the history of this Niners organization. And it really just comes down to this, which is what we talked about in the post-game show and during the watch party. What we're witnessing here in 2025 is another special season from Christian McCaffrey. And you put his season in perspective, it's silly and crazy what he's doing. He leads the NFL in touches. He's 10th in the NFL in rushing yards, leads the NFL in receptions with 81. He's 10th in the NFL as a running back in receiving yards. And how about this, ladies and gentlemen? He has 100 or more all-purpose yards in every game except for one this season. He was superb in 2022, Offensive Player of the Year, top 5 in MVP voting in 2023, hurt in 2024, but he's come back with a vengeance here in 2025. He has to be in the running for Offensive Player of the Year. He has to be in the running for MVP, because can you imagine where this team would be if they didn't have Christian McCaffrey on offense? They would be screwed. And you look at some of the next-gen stats from last night, he forced 11 missed tackles against the Panthers, tied for 5th most by any player in a game this season. He leads the NFL with 83 missed tackles forced going into Week 13, 10 away from his 2023 career high of 93. And his touches chart from last night, this is insane. I mean, this is catching the ball. This is running the ball. This is Christian McCaffrey making an impact in so many different ways. The Niners were running him to the perimeter, right, left, up the middle, explosive runs, efficient runs, moving the chains. He was doing it all last night. 24 carries for 89 yards, 7 catches for 53 yards, 1 total touchdown for McCaffrey last night against the Carolina Panthers. And let's hope that he can continue to stay healthy. Let's pray to the football gods that he can, because if he is on the field, he is a complete game changer for this Niners offense. Last takeaway here. This offensive line for the Niners has improved. They bench Connor Colby, the 7th-round rookie. Now that Spencer Burford and Ben Bartch are healthy, they've had this guard rotation at left guard, and it's made this offense a lot better in pass protection and running the football. I also really like the mentality that this Niners offense had last night, especially to start the game when they had that 15-play drive in which they went 3 for 3 on 3rd downs, and they took nearly 9 minutes off the clock to start the ball game. And it's how they did it, right? Downhill, playing physical, making a statement, setting the tone. And when this offense can take an early lead and they can dictate the flow, the complexion, and the physicality level of it, and they can take that early advantage, that's when Kyle Shanahan is at his most comfortable as a play caller. And this offense as a whole, a little bit of a mixed bag, but that's what happens when you turn the ball over 3 times and nearly a 4th because McCaffrey did fumble it. 340 yards of total offense, only 4.9 yards per play. I do really like the target number with where the Niners got as far as carries go. They ran it 39 times against Atlanta, 39 times against the Giants, 38 times against Carolina, and all those games looked very similar. And the time of possession, able to dominate that, 37 minutes and 42 seconds. Before we dip on out of here, don't forget to give me a follow on my social media pages. I'm always giving you long-form Niners content here on YouTube on the 49ers Report. I'm giving you additional Niners content for free on my social media pages if you want to stay in the know I'm on X and Instagram at Chase_senior. Over the weekend, I launched a new TikTok, so give me a follow there at Chase_senior. Already up to 237 followers.